Greetings, my drinking buddies. Today we're gonna have some fun with this Buffalo Trace Mash 1 White Dog.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies, before we get started, what is moonshine? What is white lightning? What is white dog? What is new make? What is bourbon? Well, bourbon is something that has been aged in charred oak barrels that's at least 51% corn in its mash bill. Moonshine traditionally was 100% corn, unaged spirit that would be similar to a whiskey in the fact that they're both made with corn, but the moonshine isn't aged. Here we have white dog. Now this is a new make. What does a new make mean? This is bourbon that was never aged, so therefore it's not bourbon, because the aging process is what makes it bourbon. So here we have, this is the Buffalo Trace Mash Bill number 1. It's corn, rye, and malted barley, which is the standard recipe for bourbon. And it's 62.5% alcohol by volume, 125 proof. So this is not watered down. This is gonna be, the proof that it was distilled at. So, in a lot of bourbons, a desirable bourbon might be barrel proof, meaning it wasn't diluted down after it came out of the barrel. Well, this, before it even goes in the barrel, is sitting at 125 proof. Now let's see what it tastes like. And while we're at it, let's compare it to another Buffalo Trace Mash Bill number 1. This is gonna be some Eagle Rare. I know the proof is much lower and it's aged, but I'm curious if we can pick up any flavors that might be residual from here to here. Ooh. It's got a really fruity smell to it. Wow, it doesn't even have like a boozy smell. It's like citrus and fruit. It's fruity. I like this. The taste is weird. Oh, that is a very specific taste. What is that? It's a very specific candy. It's very sweet. Let's see if I can come up with some similar flavors. I do pick up the citrus on the nose. Oh yeah, Eagle Rare is just a wonderful bourbon. I wonder if I just went in and destroyed my palate by starting with this one. This one's got a lot of vanilla for me. It's got a lot of baking spices. There's a little cinnamon in there. All around, just a great bourbon. And we have this anomaly here, this new make that's 125 proof. Boy, it just has a very specific taste that I can't nail down. I'm gonna come up with it and it'll come to me. But yeah, tastes okay. Would I wanna pour a glass of this? Probably not. So let's do some experimentation. A lot of people like to use their moonshine or even Everclear to make some apple pie moonshine or apple pie whiskey. And that is often done on a stovetop where you're boiling it down to get all those flavors in, and then you put it in a mason jar and give it to friends. And the proof dramatically goes down because there's a boiling process involved. I don't want to lower the proof. I want to have some fun with this new make the way it is as far as proof goes. Obviously adding some apples and some things like that in it will lower the proof, but I don't want to lower the proof by boiling it. I just want to infuse some extra flavors in it. So let's do that. All right, drinking buddies. So I just chopped up an apple real quick. Didn't feel like that was very compelling television. So I chopped up an apple and dropped it in my mason jar. Next up, I'm gonna put in a cinnamon stick. And we're gonna do just 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. Don't need too much brown sugar, I don't think. And we're gonna do one other ingredient. We're gonna throw in a barrel aging spiral. Now this is the drinking buddy original aspect of this, something that I've never seen done before. It could end up being terrible because we're mixing some charcoal and some apples and stuff in here. But this is what my channel is all about, experimentation. And obviously, if you're seeing this video, it didn't turn out terrible. All right, so let's pour in our White Dog Mash 1. And I want a little bit more, so I'm actually gonna break into the second bottle. I bought 2 bottles because I thought I might want to do that. All right, let's put a little bit more in. So these are 375 milliliter bottles. I'm gonna save a little bit of this because I think we might make a cocktail with it as well. Corn Puffs. Okay, it was not a candy. This tastes so much like Corn Pops, the cereal. Yeah, it came to me. Corn Pops. It tastes so much like that. Anywho, we're gonna let this go at least 2 weeks. I think it's gonna be longer, but I'm gonna test it at 2 weeks and we'll find out. If it's not ready at 2 weeks, we're gonna go even longer. So your drinking buddies, I'll see you in a few weeks, probably more than 2. All right, drinking buddies, so it's been a little over a month. I'm a little older, I'm a little wiser. Wayne finally got his Sports Illustrated football phone, and Garth finally got his, well, enough about Wayne and Garth. Let's test this experiment out and see if it turned out good. So whenever I'm doing an experiment like this, I like to get a funnel as well as a reusable filter. And we're gonna put that in our vessel here. I'm using this really nice fancy decanter. And we're gonna pour in our experimental apple pie whiskey moonshine experiment. It's aged, so I think at this point we can finally start to call it whiskey rather than moonshine, or White Dog, or new make, whatever you want to call it. I am going to save this spiral and use it for further experimentation now that it has picked up some apple flavors, as well as some flavor off that moonshine. Oh yeah, got a lot of cinnamon and smells like Apple Jacks, the cereal. Yeah, so this guy right here, we're gonna save for future projects. And we've got a pretty good filtration going out of this. I wonder how much that ended up making. I think this bottle holds 750 milliliters, so it looks like we probably got about 500 milliliters out of this. I'm going to get a glass of ice real quick. All right, drinking buddies, let's taste this apple pie moonshine out and see how it turned out. It still tastes pretty strong. There's a lot of heat coming off of this. Oh yeah. This has got apple, this has got cinnamon. Kind of got an apple candy thing going on. There's some other warming spices in here that were not in this mix. There's a little bit of clove. And let's see, what is this other spice coming through here? Possibly nutmeg, I'm not sure. At any rate, this tastes aged. So point one that I wanted to do seems to have been successful. It tastes like it's been aged. And that was one of the things we wanted to do. The next thing we wanted to do was impart some apple pie flavor. We did that. Tastes like baked apple pie. This is an excellent project that I think turned out wonderfully. I do a lot of experimentation like this, and I'm actually feeling like this might be one of the better things I've ever made. I really can't wait to share this with friends and family because, oh my gosh, this is good. Even for the heat, even for the higher proof. I feel like the higher proof allows you to get a little bit more flavors out of some liquors. You can get more flavor, more of the natural flavors out of them because they haven't been watered down. I know I poured it over ice, but that ice has not really melted at all yet. Well, drinking buddies, in conclusion, take some Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 1 White Dog, pour it in a mason jar, throw in an apple, throw in a cinnamon stick, and throw in a barrel aging spiral. And you can thank me later because this turned out really well, really good. I appreciate you watching. We'll see you in the next one.